What's going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Tonight I'm going to be doing a complete inspection, teardown, and possibly rebuild on the transfer case for the solid axle car. We are using a Behemoth drivetrain Np205. This is the billet case. This is all aluminum, so super lightweight, and it has the ability to independently shift both the front and the rear outputs. So this thing's been beaten on for about a year now, and it's always good to tear these things down, take them apart, go through them all. So tonight I'm going to go through this. I'm probably just going to set you up on a tripod, do some time lapses. And also today I picked up one of these small impact drivers. We have a smaller one, but I wanted something. I just wanted a second one, and I wanted something that was a little bit smaller than the big ones. I like it because it uses a small battery. So I'm going to use this on the T case tonight. It'll be a good test for it, and I'll let you know how it does when I'm done. Well, that was definitely a messy teardown. Anything dealing with gear oil usually is not great when it comes apart, and we use thicker gear oil in everything we do, so it's always just like molasses, just ooey gooey everywhere. So I've got the transfer case soaking. It's just soaking in some purple power. It's a degreaser. I'm gonna let that soak for probably about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna scrub it, rinse it. In the meantime, I'm gonna get all this cleaned up. I'm going to go through, inspect the parts, inspect the bearings, inspect all our C-clips, our shims, everything that's in there, and make sure that there's nothing that needs to be replaced. If so, I do have a partial rebuild kit that we keep on hand, so I have parts we need. Otherwise, we'll get it all cleaned up and back together and get this workbench cleaned up. Okay, initial review on the tool. Pretty much all the bolts that were really stuck needed the big impact. These two, this one feels a hair stronger, but this guy it's way lighter, more convenient. So I can see this one having a really good use for a lot of basic stuff. A lot of the areas that we're just spinning in a bolt fast, or just needing to tighten something down, where we're going to tighten it with a wrench, a torque wrench, or something else. This guy's going to have stronger braking strength, but in reality, we probably should be using a wrench to break things free. And if it's super tight, Like I said, we had the big impact, but overall, you know, I paid like $75 for this with the battery. I'm not disappointed in it. It's a good little unit. It's handy, it's convenient, it's light. It's got a 2-year warranty on it, and I think it'll work for what we need it to do. It's not going to go breaking bolts off or being able to get super tight bolts free, but overall, I'd say it's not quite as strong as this one, but it'll definitely get the job done. Okay. Everything is clean now. So I went through and scrubbed everything, inspected everything, and by the way, this is one reason why I like the Behemoth Drive train. Billet 205 over normal 205. I mean, aluminum, it's nothing. This stuff is light. Billet case is strong and it's light. So everything was inspected. Stuff like this inside. This is the main drive. Has these pin bearings. I can't remember what they're called, but they like to fall out. So we inspected all those, pulled them out, put them back in. And then everything was cleaned off and inspected. So far so good, no real problems. Then we've got all the rest of our parts in here. All the bearings are good. The C-clips are actually all still good. Inside the case, I've got to make some adjustments, and I need to go through and check all the shift mechanisms, make sure all this is working properly. There was a sticking problem, but we're going to get that adjusted, and it's super easy. It's just there's a bolt there. It runs through actually the whole thing to the bottom. So we'll get to work on that. Make sure we get all the detents set properly. Kind of see everything that's going on there. Bunch of crazy stuff. So we'll get this adjusted, and I will get this thing all slapped back together. Quick little cut here. I went through and tightened everything up. Everything is nice and firm now. There's no wiggling or play. Oops. Wiggle on the camera. And then everything shifts nice. Oops, too far. So now we have, there's 4 ranges. Well, there's 4 options. Front high, front low, rear high, rear low. But the way they're designed, they can't be engaged opposite. So if you look right there, kind of see in there, when that goes down, that hits that, so that prevents this from going up. But anyways, one thing I found, so he had a problem with a bolt in this before, so he ended up just welding this. This has a bolt that tightens down right there. And I noticed there's a lot of play here. So there's a flat spot on this, but I don't know if you can really tell. It's kind of worn. So what ends up happening is you get a little play here, and this slippage can then be translated because there's a cable shifter that hooks up here. So when you're shifting, that play can be magnified quite a bit. So I'm thinking, I might, instead of welding it, I think just like when you pin a crank, I'm going to drill a hole right here and see if I can put a rod or something to pin this, just like you do on a crank, and that will keep it from moving. I think that'll work. So I'm going to give that a try. If it doesn't work, I'll weld it. Okay, drilling's not going to work. I don't have a drill bit small enough, and I just don't have enough room to work with, so scratch that idea. I'm playing around a little bit here. What I think I like the best is I went ahead and ran the Allen head down, and so it's tight, but it can still slip. So to make this removable still for servicing, I'm going to put a tack right there and a tack right there. So now the bolt is connected to the arm, but if you needed to, you could simply cut those tacks, pull the bolt out, and you could service that. This guy, we'll go back to this guy. And just like that, it's now welded. Wow, that's warm. And it's firm. So I think everything's in good shape. And now we gotta stuff all that big old yoke, and almost dropped my phone. That all back in here. Well, the T-case is done. Everything is in great condition. The shifting is much better now. Tightened everything up, Loctited, and as we talked about, made the one little change on the shifter with the tack welds on the bolt. Hopefully you enjoyed that. There's a lot of pieces that go into that T-case, and it took a little bit longer than I had planned to. Had a couple of hiccups there, but it happens. About But I'm tired. It is now 3 in the morning, so I am ready to go get some sleep. I need to get cleaned up, edit this video, go to bed. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, comment, and with that, we'll see you next time. Fist bump for you guys.